I love hearing about other people's drama. I love lurking on online internet dating advice forums. I think I just love it because it's one of the most vulnerable places on the internet. I think at some point in all of our lives, we have had a situation pop up in our dating lives and we have taken to Google to see what the people are saying, whether that's on Quora, on Reddit, on whatever other forum you can find yourself on, where maybe someone somewhere out there has felt what you're feeling and has come up with a foolproof solution for you magically. Unfortunately, I think this is rarely, if ever, the case. Because as much as we would like to poof away our uncomfortable feelings and situations in dating, a lot of it is just you've got to live through it. You've got to move through it, and nobody's going to give you a quick 2-second solution to changing the way you feel or understanding every part of this person you have a crush on, how they're feeling, what they're thinking, what each action means or doesn't mean. We can read into the shit for hours if we want to, you know? And sometimes it's fun. Sometimes it's fun to get a little hypothetical, dive in, get in the weeds with your friends. And sometimes it's fun to do it with strangers on Reddit. Listen, I've been there. I have absolutely been like, what does this mean? This person did this and I'm feeling this. What am I supposed to take from this? I've absolutely been that girl. And, you know, now in hindsight, looking back at all of it, I can, you know, pretty confidently say that if you're taking to a Reddit forum asking for dating advice, it probably isn't going to go the way you want it to. It's a big generalization, but I think a lot of times when we're reaching for advice and support from strangers on the internet that we literally have no way of knowing what their qualifications or background or history is, it means we already know the answer, but we're just hoping to hear something different or want it to magically be different, even though we know deep down that it sort of is what it is. So anyways, today I thought it'd be fun to go on the subreddit designated for dating advice. This subreddit describes itself as being advice about specific dating situations and not general debates. And also these are all referring to relationships in the early stage of dating, under 6 months of seeing the person. Now, I am by no means an expert, but I do have a lot of opinions and I do really enjoy sharing them and giving my 2 cents. And you know what? These people are asking for it, so who am I to decline? But before I jump into commenting on some of these, I've got a question for you. Are you currently satisfied completely with your sex life? Personally, I wouldn't say I'm unsatisfied, but I'd say I would like to be having more of it. And I think in general, we'd all like to be having better sex and more of it. So let me let you in on a little secret. Let me teach you the secret to having great sex every single time. And that secret is Beducated, the online course platform that brings pleasure-based sex education straight to your bedroom. You'll have access to over 100 different courses from the world's leading sex experts, teaching you how to master new techniques, reignite the spark, and enjoy sex just a little bit more. It's time to build some confidence in the bedroom, learn how to spice things up, become a better giver and receiver, and explore how much deeper pleasure can go for you and your partner. Whether you're interested in learning about some new blowjob techniques, some new cunnilingus techniques, fingering, threesomes, dirty talk, anything you are curious about, I guarantee you they have it ready and available over on Beducated. It's November now, and we are quickly approaching what I believe to be the horniest time of the year, which is the holidays. I can't explain that, but it is. Which also means we are quickly approaching Black Friday, but you do not have to wait for Black Friday to get access to Beducated's absolute biggest sale ever. When you use my code Maddie at checkout, you will get 60% off the yearly pass at Beducated, and you will be locked into that discount for life. That is 60% off the yearly pass. This is the biggest discount code that they have ever done. So if you're looking to build confidence in the bedroom, spice up your sex life, get a little curious and dive into those desires, be sure to go check out Beducated and use code Maddie for 60% off the yearly pass. Again, that is code Maddie for 60% off the yearly pass. And thank you to Beducated for sponsoring today's video. So without further ado, let's dive into this subreddit. How to build a solid dating life without alcohol. I, 22 male, wish I enjoyed drinking and partying like everyone else, but I don't. I just can't. I tried, but I'm such a lightweight and I just feel miserable even after one drink. I feel nauseous and it makes me complain a lot. It ruins my ability to have fun, but being sober around drunk people is no fun either. I've realized that deciding a couple years ago to stop drinking has made my social life and dating life close to non-existent. IRL socializing seems to be centered around alcohol. I do have hobbies and friends from those hobbies, but very few of those friendships are meaningful outside of the context of those hobbies. And I tend to get slightly outcast anyways as soon as the group gets close enough such that, hey, we should go get drinks comes up. As such, my social circle exists, but it is very simple. It isn't wide enough to meet romantic prospects either. I have virtually zero romantic experience. I've tried using apps, and while I can get matches, they don't really progress from there. Most people seem to meet IRL dates via bars, clubs, or their social circle. First two are no-goes for me for obvious reasons, and the last seems to be difficult to build without drinking. I'm in good shape, conventionally attractive, well-groomed, have good hygiene, have hobbies, am well-socialized, can hold a job, I clean, I can cook a bit, I can talk intelligently about many things, I can read social cues, I can communicate my needs, I am receptive to others' needs, I've dealt with my own issues to my knowledge, I have a good relationship with my family. Why is my social life so boring? Why is my dating life non-existent? Is it really that I just don't drink? Really? For starters, I don't think you have to rattle off all of your good qualities in order to deem yourself worthy of community and closeness with people. I think that even if you didn't have some of those qualities, you deserve to feel loved and appreciated by the people around you if you're choosing not to drink. I don't think that we need to prove ourselves worthy of love and friendship and support. I get why people do that, but I don't think it's necessary. I think even if you couldn't hold a job, even if you didn't have the best hygiene, you are still worthy of community and love and friendship and all of those things. But I get it. But also, not necessary. I'm not sober, but I'm not a drinker and I'm not a partier. I have called myself sober curious in the past because I could see myself becoming sober. It wouldn't be a big deal to me if I decided to do that, which is also why I haven't decided to do that. I just feel like drinking and alcohol is really of very little importance in my life. I don't drink that much. I'll usually have like one cider or two when I'm at trivia on Wednesdays, and that's pretty much the only time I will drink all week. Sometimes friends will come over, we'll share a bottle of wine over dinner. I go out to dinner, I'll get a glass of wine, but that's really it. You know, it's one or two drinks here and there, and it's always in pretty quiet, intimate settings. I don't really like going out to bars. I hate clubs. I don't want to go out dancing. I would rather sit on the couch and talk to you all night and then do other things. And I remember when I was in college, when I was 21, 22, I definitely felt a lot more of a pressure to enjoy those things when I just didn't like them than I do now. As I've gotten older, I feel like I know more and more people that do not give a fuck about that shit, and I know more and more people that sort of have the same relationship with alcohol that I do. They're not like strictly sober, I'll never have a drink, but they're sober curious. They're mostly not drinking. It's a once in a while, once every now and then kind of thing, and it's never under the terms of like, this is a big fucking rager, we're getting drunk. We have a drink, we don't get drunk. And obviously the person that's writing this is not watching this video, but I think this is a feeling that's echoed from a lot of people. Feeling like you need to drink in order to date, in order to socialize, in order to be included in a lot of group outings, especially when you're around that college age. And this is maybe an unsatisfying answer, but I think that maybe you are just around the wrong groups of people. I went to college. I didn't go out and party every weekend because I didn't want to, and my friends didn't either. None of us really ever went out. It was like once every now and then we would, but going on partying has never been a big part of my life or any of my friends' lives. Now, I absolutely knew people in college that were like partiers, but I think I've always found it a little difficult to really connect with people like that. And I think they've probably found it difficult to connect with me too. This isn't like a one-way street. I think that they've found it difficult to connect with me and I found it difficult to connect with them because I think we have two different ideas of what like would be a fun way to bond with each other. And to me, when somebody asks me to go out and get a drink and party with them, I'm like, I'm not gonna feel connected to you at the end of the night. I'm not gonna have a better time than if I just stayed home. And I would prefer that if we were gonna hang out, if we were gonna spend time together, that we could just get dinner or, you know, stay in and do something. If you wanna go out afterwards, that's fine. I'll get dinner and you can go off with other people and I will bring myself home. But I think a lot of times, especially when you're younger, people are like, I'm here to rage. And if you don't connect with that, then it is hard to connect with those people at all. I get it because I absolutely felt that way with some people I met in college. I'll also say that I think a lot of the time we become more self-conscious about what it would mean in a social group. Like if you meet people from a hobby and they're like, oh, we should all go out and get drinks. I think we worry too much about like what the consequence of us being like, oh, actually, I'm not gonna have a drink. You know, I'll go sit at this quiet bar. I'll go out to a restaurant with you guys. Maybe they all have a glass of wine or two and you don't drink anything at all, I think we worry too much about what the reaction to that is going to be, because I think a lot of the time there is no reaction. I went out with my friends this past weekend. We all went and saw a theater show, and then afterwards we went out to dinner. They all shared a bottle of wine. I ordered a Diet Coke. Nobody gives a shit. They can do what they want and I can do what I want. And what I felt that night was that I didn't want to drink. I think there are some people that'll be assholes about it, but I think the older that you get, the more you will realize that there are a lot of people that have complicated relationships with drinking and alcohol, and nobody's going to judge you for not wanting to drink. I get not wanting to be around drunk people because I don't have a desire to be around drunk people either. But I think as you get older and away from college age, you'll see that most people are not getting plastered when they go out. I don't remember the last time that I was drunk, to be honest with you. Years and years and years ago at this point. The right people for you in friendships and in dating are not going to judge you for being sober. I think that people that will judge you for that are not the people you would want to be around anyways. And listen, these people definitely exist. I was listening to a podcast the other day where someone was saying that they wouldn't date someone that was sober. And I was like, that's absurd. That is actually an absurd thing to say. Personally, I think that's absurd. So just know that for every person you hear that says shit like that, there's also people that are at home being like, that's absurd. Why would you not date someone because they're sober? That's ridiculous. So you just got to go find those people instead. It's hard. It'll get easier when you get older. Why do men cheat on insanely gorgeous women? I recently had a man trying to get me to hook up with him, and while I was so incredibly hot for this guy, I checked if he had a girlfriend, and he does. I pulled away from the flirtation because I do not touch men who are taken. Later on, I saw her myself, and she is stunning. I find her to be way hotter than me. I genuinely couldn't comprehend why he would cheat on her. Because cheating is rarely a reflection of the person that's being cheated on. It's a reflection of the person that is cheating. It's not about hotness. It's not about who's the better catch. It's not about comparing you to the woman that they're cheating with you on. It's them and their own insecurities and their own need for attention and desire at all times from every single person, or else they feel so little and small that it eats away at them. That's their problem. Like, I can't emphasize this enough. And I see this all the time where like people who are the other woman really believe that the guy is going to leave the main girl for her. And so they are like involved in cheating. Obviously that's not what this person is doing. But I think a lot of times people who are the other woman will be like, oh, he's going to leave her for me. And it's like, where does this like come from, where you believe that you're better than other women and you're like, yeah, I'm hotter, I'm more eligible in this, that, and the third way. He's cheating on her with me because I'm actually the catch and I'm actually better. In what world is that how cheating works? You're not better than the main girl. She's not better than you either. You guys aren't competing with each other. He's cheating with both of you. There was never a competition. He was just going to take whatever he wanted. People don't cheat simply because other hot people exist in the world. You know what I mean? How many people have ended up in a happy/healthy relationship after being sexual on the first date? I, 34 female, met a guy, 28 male. We had a great first interaction and both were very horny, so we ended up getting naked and having some fun. No sex when I went back to his place. It feels too fast-paced since I want a relationship, but I'm curious how many people got sexual on the first date, ended up in a relationship that they are happy in. Now, I have no personal data to supply to this. This is why I don't have sex on the first date. However, I am a part of the school of belief that with the right person, with the person you are meant to be with, it's not going to matter when you have sex with them. If you are meant to be with this person, if this is meant to work out, you can have sex on the first date, on the second date, on the third date. None of it's going to matter. If you guys are meant for each other, it'll happen regardless. If this person is good for you, it'll happen regardless. I used to have sex on the first date all the time when I was younger. The only reason why I don't now is not because I don't feel the urge to, not because I don't sometimes want to, but because I'm a lot more protective of my heart than I was when I was younger. I think I always started by trusting people. My trust wasn't something that needed to be earned when I was younger. She was a sweetie and a cutie, and people took advantage of that. And I'm still a sweetie and a cutie, okay? We've got more protections in place for myself. I know that I am someone that sex means a lot to me. My investment and my interest in someone does go up after we have had sex. So now I just want to make sure that if I'm having sex with someone, we are on the same page emotionally, that I trust them to not only provide me with an orgasm, but also to take care of my heart in the time that follows that. But I'm sure the person that I'm meant to be with, I could have sex with them on the first date and they would still do all of those things because I'm meant to be with them. We are a good match. So it doesn't really matter. I just, some shitty dudes ruined it for the rest of you. Listen, I would fuck you on the first date, but we had to shut that shit down Blame him. Blame the other guy, okay? Because I would have. Does he want me just for sex? I'm a 25-year-old woman and I just met a guy, 27, on Hinge. We've gone on 3 dates already, but I'm worried he is too sexual or sex-focused. Whenever we're just randomly talking or walking down the street, he'll say things like, "You make me really horny," or "I'm so hard right now," without even discussing anything remotely sexual. This kind of turns me off because it makes me feel like he only wants me for sex. We haven't had sex, but we have made out every single time, and he is so touchy and gets hard from that, which in turn makes me feel bad/guilty because I'm not doing anything about it. He says he wants to date me and loves hanging with me, but I'm afraid that after we have sex, that's all he will want me for. Is this normal when dating nowadays? Can a man be openly sexual with a woman they are interested in? To start, there's no reason for you to feel bad/guilty for not having sex with this person, despite the fact that they are hard. That's fine. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do, mama. Not today, not now, not ever. Second of all, I don't know how I feel about this personally. Here's the thing. If I was dating someone and we were together and we're walking down the street holding hands and they want to say some wild shit like that to me, I would love that. Sure. Foreplay throughout the day, baby. Let's keep it going. Top to bottom, morning to night. We just constantly building this up. But when it's like, you've just met this guy and you've only been on 3 dates and you haven't shown him any indication that you want to do that, you've only made out with him and he's like, "I'm so horny right now," when you're just, I don't know. I would be put off by that too, because I'd be like, can you just focus on getting to know me? What is wrong with you? You don't even know me. I'm a stranger to you and you're being a fucking weirdo. You're about to lose your opportunity, bucko. And you know me. I obviously enjoy when the people that I'm dating are open to having conversations about sex with me, that are open about their sexual interests and desires with me. But also there's like an appropriate timeline for that to happen. And when you've only been on 3 dates and you haven't escalated it there with him yourself yet, and he's just continuing to throw out sexual things that aren't being reciprocated like a weirdo? Yeah, I don't know. And listen, I can't confirm to you whether or not this is the type of guy that says he wants a relationship just to get in bed with a woman, because trust me, those men exist. And I will be the first person there in line when we bring back the guillotine, okay? Those men for sure exist. I don't know if he's one of them. But I think in general, when you are dating someone and they're being overly sexual and you're not reciprocating that, and they don't pick up on those social cues or seem to give a fuck about what your boundaries are or what you are comfortable with, it's not a great sign. So, I don't know. You've got more backstory than I do. And also, you're not watching this video. But I don't know if I would like this. I think if I felt weird enough to write about it on a Reddit forum asking for advice, I already know my answer. And it's that I don't trust this guy. My girlfriend had sex when we were broken up for a short time, and now she wants to get back together. Me, 21, and my girlfriend, 21, were dating for 5 years. I have always been there for her and completely loyal. And apart from an incident where I caught her texting a guy early on in our relationship, she has also been loyal. A month ago, she was going through my phone, as I let her do because I want her to trust me, and she found that my friend had sent me nudes of his girlfriend to show off, and I had saved them in our chat. This upset my girlfriend, rightfully so, and she said that she wanted to break up and needed some time before considering getting back together. I apologized and took full blame after giving her some space. I asked if she would be willing to give our relationship another try, and she agreed to start hanging out and see where things go. I had a feeling in my gut to check her phone when she wasn't in the room and found texts with her coworkers stating that they had had sex multiple times while we were on a break. I know she was technically single, but this hit me hard as we were both each other's only partners to that point, and she moved on so quickly. I confronted her saying she can go be with him, and I was done with her, and she began to apologize and begged me to stay with her, saying she wants to start fresh. I just feel like it's not the same, and I can't get the image of her and another guy out of my head. I love her though, and I can't see myself being with anyone else. I know what I did was wrong, but I never thought I deserved this and don't know what to do. You're a loser. Sorry. Okay, here's the thing. So many things. We've got so much to talk about right now. Okay, number one, you're a loser. Your friend's a loser. You're all losers. You're a big circle jerk of losers. And if I knew your girlfriend, I would tell her to break up with you because you are a loser. Number one, you're friends with losers. If your friend is sending around nude photos of his girlfriend, your friend is a fucking weirdo. And I hope to God, whoever this girlfriend is, finds out about this and she leaves him. Because what the fuck? If I was in a relationship with someone and I was sending them nude photos of myself and they were just saving that shit and posted it in the boys group chat, I cannot explain to you. It would be doomsday. You would see me on the fucking news. Now that's fucked up on your friend's part in and of itself. It's also fucked up that you not only are friends with people that do this shit and let them get away with it or not calling them out, but you enjoyed it so much that you saved the photos to your fucking phone. People like you and your fucking dumbass friend deserve no pussy. Manifesting it. That's stage 1 of this, right? Stage 2 is that your girlfriend finds them. You guys break up, rightfully so. Now, you should have stayed broken up. If I was your girlfriend's friend, I'd be going balls to the wall right now. Wake up, stand up. What the fuck is going on? She finds out that you had photos of your friend's girlfriend nude saved on your phone. She breaks up with you. You try to get her back, which you should have fucked off for life, bro. You should have just left this girl alone. Then after all of this complete douchebaggery, she breaks up with you. She goes off. She's doing whatever the fuck she wants because she's single. She hooks up with her coworker. You're trying to get her back. You're trying to see her again. Then you have the audacity, nerve, and fucking gall to go through her phone and her texts that she had when she was single and then slut shame her for having sex with another man. And now you're upset. Your little boy ego is so shattered because you hate the idea of her being with another man because you had only been with each other. After you had your friend's girlfriend's nudes saved on your phone. Karma's a bitch, babe. I hope the girlfriend in this situation listens to her friends and breaks up with this guy because he sounds horrible. Horrible and awful. And he deserves no pussy. And we're manifesting it right here on this day. My boyfriend just told me that if I don't exercise at least 3 times a week, I can't expect him to stay with me. I'll preface by saying I'm not inactive. I work 3 12-hour shifts a week and a very active job and also play action soccer 1 night a week. He says I need to exercise 3 times in a week for myself and should not be surprised by him leaving if I don't. I'm in 2 minds about whether I'm wrong for being so hurt by this. He says it's not that big of a deal and I shouldn't be hurt. I should just do what he says and it won't be an issue. These are the types of stories where I just want to sit down with this person and be like, is this what love looks like to you? Is it genuinely? Is this how the men behave inside your dreams, inside the fairy tales that you've cooked up in your head since you were 7 years old? Because not for me, for sure not for me. Ignoring the fact that this is like such an absurd ask, when he says something like, I should just do what he says and it won't be an issue, that should be your clearest indicator as any that this person is toxic and scary and not someone that you should be dating. Your partner is supposed to make you feel loved and appreciated and beautiful no matter what. Basically holding a gun to your head and being like, if you don't exercise 3 times a week, I'm gonna break up with you. And if you just do what I say, then everything will be okay. That's not what love is. That's an ultimatum. That's a threat. What the fuck? Also, it's such like a arbitrary made up number. You have to work out 3 times a week. What the fuck does that mean? Like, why? Just because you said so? Because you made it up and this is what's important to you and therefore it needs to be important to me? Fuck you. And I feel like, you know, this is not what this person wrote, but I can tell that if they're telling you these types of things, I assume they also have some pretty strict, rigid ideals for what they want you to look like appearance-wise, which sucks. And I think when you're in a long-term relationship with someone, your bodies are going to change. You're going to look different. And I don't think you want to be with someone forever that's going to make you feel like you're not enough because you are getting older and your body is changing and you're going through different seasons and phases of your lives. You don't want to be with someone that makes you feel guilty for getting older or not being able to look the same way you do right now forever, because that's ridiculous. Is this what love looks like to you? Ask yourself that, because I don't think it is. And I think this guy sucks. These guys deserve no pussy. Guys, let's drill it into our heads. These guys deserve no pussy. She ended the date on the spot because I was 8 minutes late. So I had a first date scheduled last night for 7 p.m. I texted her that I would be there at 7:08, train delay. And she responded saying, I'm out front, no rush. At exactly 7:08, I walk up to her and introduce myself. She goes, you know what? I'm annoyed that you were late and want to end things here. I said, okay. And she just walked away. I feel like an 8-minute delay isn't that big of a deal. I've had plenty of people show up just a little past the scheduled date. And if she didn't like the look of me, I don't know why she would want to come out with me in the first place. My pictures are all updated and have a wide variety of body/face pics. I don't know if maybe I'm being too hard on myself. I think you're being way too hard on yourself and taking things way too personally. I don't think that you even need to think about your attractiveness or, you know, what photos are on your profile or whatever. I don't think that we need to think about that at all. I think you dodged a bullet. Honestly, you know, I think it's easy to go down the path of like, she saw me and I was like so hideous that she needed to end the date immediately and this was just her excuse. But let me offer you another perspective, another way to think about this, another possible reason why this happened. A lot of people are incredibly emotionally unavailable and they will convince themselves that they're not, convince themselves that they're ready for a relationship and put themselves out there, but then do everything in their power to self-sabotage and find a reason to run. So this person could have been looking for a reason to run and they found it. Some people are just not mature enough to be in a relationship. And like, if I was friends with this person, if one of my friends went on a date and their person was 8 minutes late and they came over and they were like, oh God, he was such a loser. He was 8 minutes late. I just stormed up and walked away the second he got there because I was so annoyed that he showed up late. I'd look at my friend and be like, okay, so let's unpack why you're reacting like this, because being 8 minutes late and the fact that you texted her and said, hey, I'm gonna be 8 minutes late, that was the common courtesy. That was all you needed. I live in a city where there's fucking delays all the time on the train. There's traffic if you're taking a car. Sometimes you don't get places on time. That's a normal human thing. If you are gonna get mad at someone for experiencing a normal human thing and texting you and giving you a warning that they're experiencing a normal human thing, you are self-sabotaging. That is not like I deserve someone who shows up on time and my standard is I don't date. You're self-sabotaging. That's it. Because this is a normal human thing that people do. You weren't like an hour late. You were 8 minutes late. That's ridiculous. 8 minutes? That's a completely reasonable amount of time to be late and show up and have things still be totally fine. So I wouldn't take it personally because this is absolutely not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of them and some weirdo behavior that was going on inside their brain. Regardless of what it was, don't worry about it. It's weirdo behavior and you dodged a bullet. And that, my friends, was r/dating advice. I think it's fun. I love hearing about other people's situations and getting to weigh in hypothetically on, you know, what I would think if I was in these situations or what my opinion is. It's just fun for me. I do enjoy it. It's like a little, what would I do? I don't know. Let's think. But if you like this kind of video, you will love my podcast, Emotionally Online, show for spilling guts and sharing secrets, where I take a lot of advice submissions, topic submissions from you guys. We dive into your juiciest secrets and stories, and I weigh in telling you exactly what I think. So if you're interested in hearing more of this, definitely go check out my podcast. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at Maddie Dragsbaek if you want to see more of me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.